A lot of content creation for Grand Theft Auto Online is focused on now and for the future, which makes sense. You'll see a lot of videos on my channel focused on the best purchases in 2024, the worst things, this and that, which usually have to do with either updates like the weekly updates, but what you normally don't see is underrated vehicles being shown a light. And in today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be going over my top 5 favorite looking cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. I already did a list of my favorite cars in the game, and now we're going to be breaking into my favorite looking, because this is a completely different list. We're not talking about handling here, although I might bring up handling as a bonus, but yeah, these are just some of my favorite cars to mess around with in the game. And the first we have is the Ocelot Lynx. This vehicle, ever since it was added into the game, I just love the design of. It's obviously based off some sort of Aston Martin, and it's just such a nice design. Now, it's not a cheap car. It's around 1.7 million, and that's pretty expensive for a sports car, but to be fair, nowadays, that's actually quite cheap, judging how fast you can earn money. I've always just been a massive fan of the Lynx's overall design choices, and there's not really that much customization going for the car. There's 2 liveries, and then there's a base color that you can just choose if you don't want a livery at all, and there's a couple spoiler options, a couple bumpers, but I mean, this is basically what the car is going to look like fully upgraded, and I mean, it just looks so dang nice. This next vehicle is one that a lot of people don't even know exists in Grand Theft Auto Online, known as the Tundra Panther. And wow, is this an incredible looking vehicle. It's based off the Alpine A110. I first fell in love with this vehicle when I was playing Forza Horizon 4. I saw it pop up on the auto show for like 10 million, and I don't know, my impulse just bought it, and that was one of my favorite purchases ever in the game. I actually made a shot on iPhone meme when I got this car, and it ended up picking up over 1 million views on the channel, which is kind of insane. And yeah, I've just always loved the design of this car. It's kind of like a Porsche, but then you've mixed some French style design choices here and there. The back just looks absolutely incredible, and the best thing is that this is a newer vehicle, which means it has a lot of different customization options. It's got a lot of different liveries, and you can really make it your own style. So while this isn't the best car in handling, in fact, it's quite mediocre in terms of its top speed and performance, the car just looks so nice, and I have to give Rockstar an A+ when it comes to the customization and design of this car. We arrive at the Italy GTB Custom. This was my favorite car in Grand Theft Auto for probably 2 to 3 years after it was released. I personally still believe this to be one of the nicest looking vehicles in the game. And the best part about it is it's a Benny's vehicle. What that means is that there are so many different customization options that you can choose. If you want to make your car completely different to mine, you can, and you can very easily do that, as there's like 20 different spoiler options, 15 different bumper options, hood options, trunk options. There are so many different characteristics that you can use on this vehicle, and it's really disappointing that Rockstar doesn't have more Benny's vehicles available in the game that feature this level of customization. I feel like this was one of the last style of cars in the game that Rockstar really had a lot of love for, and you'll notice it's fast. Look at that speed. We're going 150 down the road, and that's because not only does this vehicle feature a base top speed of 127, but it also has incredible grip, and when it gets these little advanced handling speed glitches, which means the engine revs when you go over a little bump, it allows the car to pick up incredible strengths of speed, which you can see are just absolutely amazing. So this car has always been one of my favorites. It looks amazing, it has the customization, and it's just a super underrated vehicle that you don't see too much of anymore. This is a vehicle that is quite new to GTA. It was released probably 3-4 months ago at this point, and I haven't seen a single soul drive or even talk about this car since its release. And personally, I think that's a shame. It's the Walton L35. On paper, it looks just kind of like your stock standard truck, but in reality, I mean, look at this thing. It's absolutely epic. It has suspension for days, which makes it absolutely incredible at off-roading. All the lights work on the roof, on the bumper, everywhere, which is super rare when it comes to Rockstar vehicles, and The truck just looks amazing. It's like a 70s style Chevy. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure what DeClasse is, but I would guess it's a 70s style Chevy. Overall, the truck's just super fun to drive, and as you can see, it's got really, really good suspension. It's got really good off-roading capabilities. Even though you'd think that it's like super easy to flip because of how high off the ground it is, look at this. I mean, it's not flipping at all. It's kind of crazy. So it's a crazy, crazy fun vehicle to mess around with, and as I said, it just looks absolutely amazing. Now, it's possible this vehicle has a little bit of a sweet spot with me because I'm a big fan of old classic trucks. I mean, I own one personally, but I still think that this vehicle is super duper underrated, and it looks so nice. To finish off today's video, we had to pick a car that was truly special. Now in front of you, we have a Dodge Charger. It's an absolutely incredible looking vehicle. I mean, look at that engine popping out of the car. We got the big old wang on the back. It's just a super, super clean vehicle. And what if we wanted to supercharge this thing? Make it faster, make it more streamlined, and a NASCAR? Well, we can, and that arrives to this vehicle, the Bravado Gauntlet Classic Custom. Wow, is this a sexy vehicle. Now, not everybody's gonna agree, but I personally believe that this is the sexiest car in GTA, right up there next to vehicles like the Virtue and the Lynx. I mean, I just love the design of this. First of all, it's got pop-up headlights. That alone, absolutely goated. But you can also see that I'm running the NASCAR livery, or at least close to what it would have been in real life. A fun fact, this car set the fastest lap time ever on a NASCAR track, over 200 miles per hour, which is insane judging that this was a 1960s vehicle. It's just actually insane. Essentially, what it was is a Dodge Charger or style vehicle was then grabbed for NASCAR. They completely souped up the vehicle and they made it just a literal arrow for speed and aerodynamics. That wing, it's got a reason why it exists. And obviously there were some street legal versions because NASCAR has to have street legal versions, which were the Plymouth Superbird. Now it's kind of hard to tell which this is exactly based off of. I would guess the Superbird because of the fact it does have pop-up headlights, which I don't think the NASCAR had in real life. So I would guess it's the Superbird, but because we're running the NASCAR livery, we're gonna say it's the Daytona Superbird. Either way, the Dodge Daytona is an incredible vehicle, and it looks absolutely amazing. It features a lot of customization because it's a Benny's vehicle. It's very fast, and I mean, the interior is great as well. This has just always been one of my favorite vehicles. Ever since I saw it as a kid, I was always like, that is the car. If I make it rich, this is a vehicle I want to own in my garage. I think the thing's like 18 feet long. It's insane. So let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my takes. At the end of the day, this is obviously an opinionated video, but these are my favorite looking vehicles in all of GTA Online. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.